Ladies and gentlemen, Eric backstage, FM99 Lunatic Luau 19 with the Ayatollah of rock and roll himself, Chris Jericho. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, man. It's even more loony than it was last time, and even more of a luau. People actually have lays around their neck. I never got one last time.
It's more alliterative.
I'm hoping to get one this time.
We will get you laid. Chris Jericho will be laid
No, I don't want the pun. I want an actual lay.
Somebody help him out. Somebody help the man out.
Props. It's in
department.
my contract that I get a lay.
I'm not.
There you go. Perfect.
No part of this again.
Now I'm happy. There you go.
It's that simple, folks.
Perfect.
You just have to you have to move when he snaps.
Just want what I was promised. That's
exactly.
all. I mean,
exactly.
It's a luau. This is a luau.
Now the coconut bra is on its way.
Perfect.
They're itchier than you might expect.
Yeah. But for me. For both.
Either one. We could share, perhaps.
That'd be a great name for a punk band, the Coconut Bras.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So Fozzy is taking the stage today. You guys graduated to the main stage this year. How's it feel?
It's great, man. I remember actually it's funny because the Lunatic Luau 2017 was the first show on the Judas tour.
Okay.
And here we are 2 years later, and we just basically wrapped it up. So to go from the side stage to the main stage and get out of the trailer on the lot to an inside big boy dressing room, it's been pretty cool. But I think it's par for the course because that record was huge for us.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see the progress for the band, and you can see that with the amount of airplay that we've got and the amount of the fan base. And then of course when you come to a festival and see that you go from outside to inside, all those things mean a lot to us because it's been a long time to get here.
So you are a multifaceted superstar. How many podcasts do you bank at a time?
I think I have about 20 in the can right now. Those are kind of evergreen.
Sure.
And I'll do some that somebody will have some that comes out next week or something along those lines.
Right.
So I usually find, especially, I'm not doing any today because I just had Zach from Shinedown on. I've had a couple other bands on. But usually when I come to a festival, I'll take my portable rig with me. And then, you're sitting around all day till it's time for your set or time to do press. So it's a good time to get together. A, get a show in the can. B, catch up with your friends. And, use that sit around time to get something actually done.
Oh, for sure. So staying busy is clearly part of what makes Chris Jericho Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Do you ever just crash and take a week off?
Well, yeah. I mean, this year has been a lot easier than the last couple of years.
Sure.
Especially with Fozzy. I think we did 150 shows on the Judas tour. And then I still wrestled a few matches here and there, mostly in Japan. I think I did 5 last year.
Right.
So this year has been even easier because we've been off the road with Fozzy. I haven't been wrestling at all. So it's actually been the most time off I've had in probably 10 years or so, to the point where now that we're starting to get back to work, I'm like, I don't know if I want to get back to work. I like just sitting around at home.
Well, it's working. I saw the Instagram post the other day. You're looking real jacked, as Booker would say.
I've been training a lot. Yeah. I've been working hard for that.
Well, yeah. So are there any... Whoa.
Wow,
windy.
hurricane.
Windy, just a bit.
Hurricane Luau.
Nita's here.
That's good one. I see what you did there. Yeah.
I'm a pro. It's okay. Not very good, but I'm a pro. So is there any word on new Fozzy? Any
Yeah, we're
inklings?
working. Actually, we were just listening to some new riffs today, and Rich has been working for about the last 3 months with Johnny Andrews, our producer, to write some new stuff. And I think the idea is to have a single out maybe in September, because we're doing a tour in September that's based around this support slot that we have with Iron Maiden in Los Angeles.
Well then.
At the stadium in Los Angeles.
Big
there you
deal.
go. Still not sure how that one came about, but we put together a whole tour based around that show.
Yeah.
And the idea is to have a single out about September, maybe a new record in January or February next year.
Because you did kind of the same thing before, where there was no word on a new album, and then I think it was Judas just kind of dropped on its own.
We put the single out in May, and I think the album came out in October. So that's probably maybe September and January. The thing is, you can't rush something like this because Judas had 3 top 10 singles on it.
Right.
So it was a huge breakthrough for us. Really took us to the next level. Your next record has to be better. Not as good, it has to be better. And so there's no reason to rush it.
No.
I find, in this biz, here today, gone later today, if you make the wrong decisions, is very easy. And also absence makes the heart grow fonder. So while people are waiting, as long as we know we've got something that's like, wow, this is very, very good, and we're going to really continue this build that we've got, then we'll be ready. Until then, we're going to take the time it takes to get it right.
It becomes a double-edged sword, too, though, because then you can turn into a Guns N' Roses situation where Chinese democracy could never live up to the expectations.
Well, yeah, and I guarantee our record will be, it won't take 14 years to put out the next
You heard it here first.
Yeah. And I think you see that with a band like Metallica, 8 years between records.
Right.
I don't think there's any reason for that, especially not for us. We want to get it done, but we don't want to rush it. But we also know there's a black hole, like a window that you have to go through. If you wait too long, people forget about you.
Oh, for sure.
So I think it's been, like we said, it'll be 2 years in October, probably another 6 to 8 months after that's the perfect time frame.
Very cool, very cool. So new Fozzy, eventually.
Yes, eventually.
So we're doing, I was told no W words, so musically, Metallica or Megadeth? Yeah, I was just told. Metallica or Megadeth?
It's Metallica, obviously,
Okay,
but I love Megadeth too.
Of course,
I
of
love
course.
Megadeth too.
We don't mean any disrespect
No,
here.
no, I got to go with Metallica always, but it's not like there's, to me, Megadeth is right there with them.
Of course. Zach or Randy Rhoads?
Randy.
Yeah? Okay.
I think the brilliance of Randy is that the fact that he was taken so soon.
Sure.
There's really only 2, 3 if you count the Quiet Riot records. So there's not a lot to build on, but every song is genius.
Oh, for
Had
sure.
he had a 20-year career and started playing, flamenco ska, he might not feel the same way.
No, man, we just got to experiment. I'm just
exactly.
feeling
I go into my
pigeonholed.
experimental phase.
Feeling pigeonholed by the guy who eats doves.
Well, I mean, Zach's whole musical DNA is Randy Rhoads.
For sure.
Combined with Tony Iommi. So,
for sure.
I'll go with Randy.
All right, Kiss or Van Halen?
Oh, Kiss.
I knew that one. I just had to
Greatest
throw that
American
one out
rock and roll band of all time. It's got to be Kiss or maybe Aerosmith. I think Van Halen had the chance to, but if you look at Van Halen's recorded output since about 95, there's only 1 or 2 records. It's not enough.
It's one of those deals where people talk about, well, Metallica's the best ever. If you don't talk about Load or Reload, it's like, well, you can't just not include.
But at least they were active.
Right.
It's like Kiss always puts out new records, even though theirs the last 20 years hasn't been a lot either. But Van Halen from 78 to 1985. The best American rock and roll band. That string of albums can't be beat. It's just that it slowed down so much afterwards, you can't put them in that category.
Understood. We've got a line of folks who want to say hey to Chris Jericho.
Oh, wow.
And we are so pumped to have you doing the autograph tent later as well. Fozzy taking the stage in a little bit. This isn't live anyway. I don't know why I'm saying all that. Hey, that's already
You thought you were on the radio.
This all happened 30 years ago. We'll finally get it
time
posted.
traveling. So the W word is Willy Wonka?
Yeah. Can't talk about candy.
Where's Waldo?
Can't talk about candy. Can't
Washington
talk about
Wizards?
books. Yeah, definitely not them.
Weezer?
Yeah, who would be blue, green? What are we talking?
Wah pedal? I don't know.
Chris Jericho. Dude.
Wrestling.
I was told. We're all set. Thank you, bud.
Thanks, brother. My pleasure. Always a pleasure.